does weighing an ox explain the stock market? Well, about 100 years ago, the statistician Francis Galton observed an ox weighing competition at a local fair, and, being the kind of man he was, he ran statistics on the numbers. He found that the average guessing weight was extremely close to the actual weight of an ox. Years passed, and the scales had become less and less reliable, but the fair organiser had a fantastic idea. He thought to himself, I don't need to repair the scales, I can just use the average of the guessing weights. So the scales were removed from the process. Ox guessing competitions became more and more popular, but some people tried to cheat. They sought privileged information from the farmer who had bred the ox, and it was feared that if some people had confidential information, other people wouldn't enter and the whole competition would be destroyed. So strict regulations were introduced. The farmer had to create 3 monthly reports that were posted to public locations. And if the farmer released any other information, this also had to be posted publicly. If anyone tried to enter the competition with confidential information, they would be banned and excluded for life. So, the integrity of the competition was maintained. Teams of analysts would review these quarterly reports and advise their clients on how to bet, heavier or lighter. They tried to wine and dine farmers, but with the strict regulation, these meetings became less fruitful. Some smarter analysts realised that actually the health and well-being of the ox wasn't that useful anyway. What was useful was understanding what people would guess. So they would guess what people would guess, and people would guess what they guessed, and so on. Some people, like old Farmer Buffett, thought the idea of an ox weighing competition that doesn't weigh the ox was totally ridiculous. But no one listened to him. True, he was a successful farmer, but he didn't understand the complexity of the market. The competitions continued to expand, and official rules were published. There were the generally accepted ox weighing principles and the international ox weighing standards. But they all agreed on one fundamental principle. The official weight of the ox was not based off the scale, but based on the average guesses of the crowd. This was sometimes a problem, however, when few people or nobody entered the competition. But mathematicians from the University of Chicago resolved this problem. They could calculate what the average guesses would have been if there had been guesses. No knowledge of the ox was actually required, just a powerful computer. The whole industry continued to expand, with people making deals, advising, organising competitions. Some people suggested it would be easier just to fix the scales, but they were quickly rejected. Why would you need to fix the scales when you could rely on so many clever people? And then, in all the hustle and bustle of the competition, the ox died. No one remembered to feed it. I hope you enjoyed this parable around how ridiculous the stock market has become. Today, most trading is not done by people, but by computers. Computers buying and selling with computers, predicting what other computers would do, and then adjusting. There's a disconnect between company performance and the activities of the stock exchange. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching,